Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. And here, my name is Sima. We have James, Nabila, and Idil here. So our team really brings together very deep expertise in like product space, compliance space, and we also have a perspective of a former employer from Microsoft. Here we have us with Idil. And it really gives us a unique insight into technical and regulatory side of managing Microsoft 365 environments. So Digital Banker 365 delivers three key main advantages. So first is a proactive security, where it delivers end-to-end protection with more proactive monitoring and CISO level of expertise without overhead of IT hires or minimizing, IT burdens. Second is the compliance and scalability, where it's a fully managed 365 security solution that really simplifies and scales your businesses, which is perfect for regulatory and non-regulatory space who would like to scale with more seamless growth. And third is peace of mind of SMB. So it really reduces cyber risk, meet the regulatory standards, which allows leaders to focus more on running the business rather than fighting for security fires.
Given this value proposition, we believe that Digital Bunker 365 is perfectly positioned to rapidly expand and strengthen its position in the market. We are going to suggest this happens through three main initiatives. First, heavily lean into the Microsoft Partner Network. Build off of that existing ecosystem with AppSource and Azure Marketplace and resellers to gain additional customers. Second, we want to evolve the client interaction, both from an initial lead perspective, where we're going to introduce a free instant risk assessment tool, as well as replace the current static reports with a dynamic dashboard. And lastly, capture additional value through new service offering tiers, both a low-touch monitoring-only tier, as well as a high-touch deep collaboration tier. And we'll dive into the details.
For the SWOT analysis, we found that Digital Bunker's strength lies in all-in-one security and compliance platform, virtual CISO service, and strong client relationship. The market is also promising with rising cyber threats, increasing cybersecurity budget, and also tighter regulation driving the market demand. However, the focus in Microsoft and then low brand awareness and unclear product market fit, along with the intense competition and also SMB price sensitivity remain the key challenges. So we recommend Digital Bunker to boost the visibility by partnering with Microsoft for the co-marketing and also introducing the tiered service package to increase the budget flexibility. We also found execution risk. So first of all, customer might see Digital Bunker as duplicative or overlap with Microsoft tools. So it's very important to clearly communicate the value proposition of Digital Bunker itself. And then dependency on Microsoft ecosystem means that any change in their feature and also policies could affect the Digital Bunker operation. And then so it's important to have the mitigation plan on this aspect. And then client also might misinterpret the report or action plan that are delivered to them. So it's also important to keep educating them to take the right action. Next. So here is our customer journey map along with the suggested improvement from us. For the awareness stage, we suggest to add the self-risk assessment tool, and then for the decision and next step, again we propose to introduce the tiered service and remediation package to increase the budget and needs flexibility. And then finally, for the ongoing engagement, we believe that it's important to keep our customer informed through the periodic training and governance update.
So our sweet spot is SMBs, so around 50 to 150 employees led by decision makers such as like directors, VPs, or C-suite levels. So they are already using Microsoft 365 tools but have limited IT resources. So their goal is really just to automate that kind of compliance, eliminate the license risk and boost secure score while also reducing the risk of exposure and streamlining the IT operations. So in terms of the pain points, might be disconnected 365 tools, underutilized the resources, and also looming risk due to the poor documentation and misconfiguration. So really we solve all this by unifying, simplifying, and securing their environments. So in terms of here we are where we stand in the market. So competitors such as Rencore or Ninja One focus heavily on the self-service, while Microsoft Defender offers more broader coverage, but still really requires that significant internal oversight. So right now, really in terms of scalability, Digital Banker really stands more on mid-tier player with newer solution. So with this proposal, we are positioning Digital Banker 365 not as a only to scale on its own and reach in terms of the clients or customer base, but also give SMBs the tools and services that they need to scale that securely. So the rest of the presentation will really focus on how we're going to achieve this growth, both for Digital Banker 365 and for our businesses that we serve.
For the sales strategy, we prioritize three focus. First of all, to strengthen the Microsoft partner motion by increasing our visibility in marketplace and also app sources. And in the long term, we also plan to partner with Microsoft CSP. And then we suggest to focus on targeting SMB, especially in compliance-heavy sector that use Microsoft through tailored outbound and inbound outreach. And then we also recommend to use various personalized channels like industry-specific case study, workshop, webinar to accelerate the deals and also closing rates. Next, for the pitching recommendation, we recommend to start with affirmation loops like asking the customer the basic but most relatable question like how they manage the challenge in onboarding and offboarding process, and then having the client frame the value by asking how much the cybersecurity breach impact their business, and also highlighting the opportunity cost and anchor in value.
So this is a high-level view of our GTM marketing strategy for Digital Banker 365. Starting from the top left corner, we'll position the solution as a go-to solution for SMB compliance, as mentioned, through LinkedIn posts, white papers, and webinars. This will help us build trust by creating awareness and brand credibility. And in order to achieve that, we move to the right side, prioritizing the reach through Azure Marketplace-led discovery. It will put the solution in front of the tech-savvy, already Microsoft customers in the ecosystem. And moreover, to drive more inbound leads early, we would also offer a risk assessment tool that will provide personalized security insights on our portal to our customers eventually. And these efforts will also be backed by our demos, community building activities, and some referral incentives. So we aim that our satisfied clients at the end of the day will be active advocates of our brand. In order to successfully achieve that marketing strategy and GTM strategy, our first focus is on the Microsoft partnership side, as mentioned, being MSP then CSP at the long term. And we will invest on Azure listings, co-branded campaigns, and partner incentives therefore. Secondly, we will move to workshops and educational marketing. It will include the content, for example, the white papers, emails, and LinkedIn, and also the events. Thirdly, we would focus on community building. So we would allocate targeted digital campaigns and also a credit structure for the referral incentive. And lastly, we would build awareness through demos, the free risk assessment tool, and also the POCs. This will overall be 55 to 60K budget. To measure our success, we will focus on 4 critical dimensions. These are conversion, efficiency, partnership, and experience. For conversion, our target is actually 25 to 30%, which is 5% higher than the industry benchmark. In terms of efficiency and experience, we discovered that the CAC can be estimated to be less than 2K, and we can onboard clients within 2 to 3 business weeks. That also translates to around 1 month sales cycle, and that is optimized for the SMB industry. Lastly, from a partnership standpoint, we set a goal for 30 to 40% of Microsoft partner-sourced revenue. This also means that nearly 1/3 of our leads and customers will arrive from there at the end. This is our first year roadmap. And we start with first month, we lay the GTM foundation, finalizing the messaging, the targeting SMB list, the demo prototypes. At the month 3, we do the Microsoft partnership initiatives. Month 6, we aim for 50K MRR. Also, we will publish the Digital Bunker 365 solution on Azure Marketplace. At 9 month, we will scale by expanding the outreach with the bundles, referrals, the compliance workshops, at least with 5 of our key customers. And lastly, we will optimize at the end of the year by achieving at least 25% of our customer conversion rate. And we will also establish scalable CSP success practices so that in the upcoming year, we can prioritize that motion and put it into our plan.
So in addition to this robust go-to-market strategy, we also want to invest in evolving the solution as it stands today and the way that customers are interacting with this. So we'll go through our prototypes around this assessment tool, the dashboards, and then the additional service tiers. So first, when someone first comes into Digital Bunker 365's website, right now they're able to book an evaluation, but that takes them to booking a sales call and kind of this very high commitment item. We're imagining a preliminary risk assessment that gives them just some high-level best practices to get them sort of, give them a taste, provide early value, and widen that top funnel of lead generation, and then giving them the option to dive in deeper, book the full evaluation as they can today, and expand from there. Beyond this initial insight, we also want to change the experience for clients once they are added to Digital Bunker 365. So this is our proposal to shift from the current monthly static report that they're given to an actual on-demand live dashboard that they can see their metrics and see the impact of what Digital Bunker is doing for them on a day-to-day basis. And this will shift them to also be more self-service and hopefully also saves money in the long run for Digital Bunker 365 as clients don't need as many touch points where if they have a request or need something like they can self-service that. This shift in the product strategy to be a little more self-service also allows us to add this additional service tier. Next, please. So here we lay out the new service tiers that we want to do. Our second tier here is basically the managed solution that Digital Bunker 365 does today. But we would like to add Tier 1, which is this low-touch monitoring-only solution, where someone would get the initial evaluation, they would be able to see the dashboard, but they wouldn't have this ongoing support. This would allow for really highly cost-sensitive customers to have an option and provide value with additional upsell opportunities for those customers. And on the other end, we like the idea of a deep collaboration tier that focuses on proactive cybersecurity consulting, faster SLA times, as well as a dedicated point of contact. In our research with IT leaders, one of the main things that they brought up around risks with like an MSP provider was around trust, building relationships, and being able to contact the same person versus every time you reach out, someone else doesn't really know where you're coming from. So those kind of high demand clients could really benefit from this direct point of contact for ongoing support and this high touch collaboration tier. In terms of pricing, we want to really model this pricing. It's all around the all-in seat monthly cost that Digital Bunker 365 has. That cost is going to be highly different from a monitoring-only service offering to this deep collaboration option. But which, regardless, once that's calculated, you tack on, the profit margin that's needed to run the business, including the market investment that we've already outlined, and that gives you the correct price for these 3 tiers.
Yes, so just our next steps can be that we will be accelerating our GTM with Microsoft CSP partnership, also securing marketplace placement, and we're also going to be running targeted ad campaigns focusing on the co-branded asset and referral program. In parallel, we also involve our products around, as James mentioned, the risk assessment tool and also the dashboard, and also provide that flexible service option that positions Digital Banker as go-to partner for Microsoft security and compliance. And that comes to the end to our presentation. Thank you so much.
judge's side, so let's begin there. So judges on this side wants to go first.
Sure. First of all, great job, good presentation. I like the idea of this evaluation kind of concept to kind of get, potential clients' feet wet. Two questions, but first, for this evaluation tool, what like data would it be scanning, or like, have you imagined that being set up if I'm a client and I'm like, okay, start evaluation?
Yeah.
What is it actually doing there in the evaluation?
Yeah, it's a great question. So the full evaluation that Mike and team offer today, is looking at their actual setup, their tenants, their configuration, diving into their system. You have to give them admin access to get in there. So that's a big ask for a client. So this would be much more preliminary. We're just, industry, company size, and you can go back to it a little bit, and a few other, key things around MFA and these kind of top line cybersecurity best practices. So yeah, but also getting their contact information enough to follow up with those good leads.
Okay, and then my other question was, from what you know about Michael's company, and maybe this is a question actually maybe for Michael.
Jump in.
Would there need to be labor expansion to fulfill your market strategy, like your market, like the social media and the webinar building and the content generation?
In order to not to expand so much on the sales side, we prefer the scalable sales and GTM strategy there. Obviously, we will reposition the tasks of the current salesperson or salespeople, but there is no other additional sales labor cost included in this plan, only the automation process and the tools. And we will also aim to work with some marketing agencies and event agencies as third parties rather than including salespeople and marketing people in the team.
I'm good.
No questions? So just, one of our challenges is online engagement is impossible these days. So what do you guys see as what do you recommend as ways to get that online engagement going? Because these are great ideas, right? We've tried some of them and they're wonderful, but you're pitching yourself essentially is what happens. So what are your thoughts on how do you increase that online engagement? What channels specifically have you guys thought about that?
We think that starts with also brand awareness as well. That's why we are prioritizing especially the LinkedIn posts, white papers, webinars, and the online demos to increase specifically that online engagement. And also, we think one of our main incentives, this community building, would especially help us on this regard, because after having 5, 10, 20 secured clients, they will be our advocates, and we will define some credits as discounts to their account so that they will bring us new customers. So we will utilize our customers as also like a sales motion at that sense as well.
So like customer user groups?
Yeah.
The other piece I would say is just really plugging into the Microsoft partner network, right?
Sure.
You're selling to people who are using Microsoft. We want as much as possible for someone to buy 365 and then to go, this is a lot, I don't want to manage it. Let's grab Digital Bunker 365. So we want to tap into that pipeline as much as possible to use the Azure Marketplace and AppSource to really tie into those clients.
We believe that Microsoft ecosystem has a high observability in terms of our customer base and the technology industry for sure. So the Azure Marketplace listing will also definitely help us on that regard. And this is the roadmap we designed to be their partner in the first year.
Great. Additional questions from the judges?
No. Good job.
Thank you.